So today I'm drawing this picture of Mike Tyson. I did this sketch while in the hospital. My dad had to go in for a colonoscopy, and they had to, put the old scope between his cheeks, and he died. Uh, the scope went way through him and poked his brain, and he had an aneurysm. And he died. So shout out to Pops. He will be missed. I've been sketching the last two videos, so I figured I'd show the other side of drawing, which is, the filling in of the picture. I figured painting would be more simple than drawing. This is a first for me though, because usually when I'm doing a realistic portrait and I'm doing it in color, I usually use colored pencils. I'm used to drawing, I'm not really used to, I'll paint, but this is the first time doing a colored portrait of a face with watercolor. And the thing about watercolor is you have to start lightest to darkest. So you have to start with your lightest colors and let all these layers dry, and you gradually get to the darker values. Between all these cuts, I'm letting this dry because if you don't, the paper is gonna peel up and all the colors are gonna get muddy, and it's not good. So paint in layers and let the layers dry completely in between. Watercolor is a little tricky. I'm laying down heavy colors and I end up lightening them up as I go, just because I'm trying to blend the edges and I end up kind of washing out the whole thing. But if you're starting off with light pigments, then it's going to be alright. It's all going to fade and then you can add on to it. These darker values are going to add dimension, not to mention contrast, which defines images for our eyes. Usually this is the point when I would look at a picture and be like, oh fuck, it's not turning out good. And that's not true. It's just not done. So don't rip up the paper and set the cat on fire. Just look at your reference picture, and whatever you got on the page is a better base than just a blank page. So just work with it, keep going. If you need to subtract paint, what you can do is add water to the area, let it soak for a second, and then, like mop it up with a brush, and that will take off some of the paint. I really like this picture of Mike Tyson. I try to pick like interesting images of people, usually that I admire, and I don't know, like this is the main image of him that I've been wanting to draw. You know, over here looking like a reverse Hitler. Imagine being at that party, bro. You walking around and he's all fucked up, and you turn around, and this motherfucker's looking you in the face. Mike Tyson had a tough life, man. Like, he grew up like having to fight. It's not something that he really wanted to do. His family were like church people and shit, and this motherfucker's literally like fighting his way through hell. You know, when he was in his prime, he was a fucking machine. He was an ego-driven machine. Like, and he even says that. Like how the ego that he created around himself kind of drove the car that was his life. I don't care if Floyd Mayweather doesn't lose any fight. Like, Tyson is the best boxer. And one thing I noticed looking at his clips is like he's wearing ankle socks the whole time, and then whenever he's going up against another boxer, they always got these fucking long tube socks on, and they look goofy as fuck and gangly as fuck. It's not athletic. Tyson's over there just bouncing around. I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. Like, I never thought of like ankle socks as like an athletic thing, but I guess it like changes like how you're thinking about your how you're using your body. And it made me want to invest in a pair of ankle socks. Just in case somebody like just runs up to you, tries to start a fight. You know, you got the ankle socks on, you Tyson them. I'ma lose, man. All my socks are tube socks, bro. So on top of building value right now, I'm also trying to bring out actual detail. I'm being very precise about where I use my brush, and I'm trying to get it more to a skin texture and not just like color swatches. Now we're getting to a point where it's actually starting to get somewhere. It's starting to, the details are showing up more and more. And the more, I don't know, specific they get, like eyelashes and eyebrows and shit like that, that'll come later because it's smaller. So if you have like a thin line and you're using watercolor, if you get watercolor next to that thin line, it's gonna disappear right away. So you gotta start off with the lightest stuff and the most broad stuff and work down to the specifics. This stuff is extremely fun. Like, I don't know. There's just something about like just keep adding little pieces. It's almost like a puzzle, just keep adding little pieces and eventually it's gonna make a picture. Um, and making the videos is actually really fucking fun. I've used up all the fucking storage on my phone. I just got a new phone like earlier this week, and I've used 96% of the storage making 2 videos. I've deleted all this footage from my phone, so it's just the edited footage. It's still nothing. It doesn't matter. It's still 96%. I put a fucking SD card in. It's not working for shit, But I don't know. Why be mad about it? I'll figure something out. It's gonna be all right. And now we've gotten to the point where he just fucking looks like 50 Cent for some reason. He looks like a fucking homeless 50 Cent. So don't get lost in that. Don't get lost in what it kind of looks like now and end up drawing 50 Cent instead. I'm using a white marker pen for his milk mustache, pink for the eyes. Getting something like a white marker pen is actually really useful because you paint with every other color, but usually you're just kind of going around the white of the page. But if you invest in a white marker, then you can paint with that too, and it helps a lot. And you'll see I use that for the shine of the eyes in a little bit too. Now I'm trying to make the forehead more accurate. Broadly it looks fine, but if you look at the specifics of it, the details don't exactly match up yet, so we're just building on to better realize the image. Now I'm going in with the marker pen. I really like how it looks on the eyes. It's real saturated. And this whole thing, man, the whole watercolor, world is great because how saturated it is, And it's because, I'm building with the same color to give depth. I'm only using like 3 different colors painting. When I'm drawing with colored pencil, I use like 7 different colors for skin. But here, the way it's set up, it's just different. So now I'm just trying to get all the little details in, washing out some of the forehead to get that shine just right. Definition around the nose. The dark outlines around the eyes. So like I said, my storage is full, so I'm gonna just do pictures for this last bit. So I'm not adding too much more, just some little touches to realize, and then the background. I fixed the top of his head. This is the finished product. I added a background, his shirt, his neck, a few touch-ups here and there. But that's basically it. Thanks for watching. Please consider subscribing.
The champ. Soldier boy, you don't stand a fucking chance. If you show up, sorry man. Chris Brown's gonna make you shit your pants. I'm Mike Tyson, the greatest ever. Mayweather, fair weather.